For many years, it was the United States and Russia who have been global superpowers when it comes to military arsenal. But things in China are rapidly changing, and the development of new weapons of war has put the world on notice. The most advanced development in the Chinese arsenal is that of their new stealth aircraft. An aircraft with greater stealth capability makes radar detection extremely difficult. This is an incredible advantage when it comes to stealth bombers and the squadrons supporting jet fighters. Most non-stealth aircraft are very easy to detect by radar devices that work by sending out bursts of radio energy signals that are then reflected back by any objects the signals encounter. Because airplanes are generally rounded and made of metal, radio signals quite easily bounce off the aircraft's body and back to the radar. The radar can then measure how long it takes for the reflection to return to determine exactly where the object is. Stealth aircraft are generally very flat and have sharp edges, which makes radio signals bounce off them at awkward angles. In addition to this, a stealth aircraft's surfaces are often treated so that they can absorb radar energy. In tandem, these abilities make stealth aircraft nearly undetectable. China's most worrisome stealth bomber is the Xi'an H-20. Since it's not yet been unveiled to the public, most details surrounding it are top secret. However, what we do know is that it's been in development since about 2010 and will be operational by the year 2025. It's expected to have a range of at least 5,250 miles and a payload of at least 10 tons. The Chinese hope that it will have the range to threaten the so-called Third Island Ring, which includes Australia and Hawaii. In terms of its 4 turbofan engines and overall design, it seems similar to the American Spirit B-2 bomber, which is currently the most advanced stealth bomber on the planet. However, it will likely have many advanced avionic features. The most intriguing new capability is its advanced ECM package, which can send out electronic signals capable of damaging and deceiving radar systems. It will also include a mobile data processing center that can disseminate information in real time to and from other Chinese military units. It should probably come without saying that this bomber will certainly be able to deliver a nuclear weapon or two, along with dumb bombs, precision-guided bombs, and air-to-surface missiles. But the Xi'an H-20 may not be alone. While the H-20 is supposed to be a long-range bomber, the Chinese may be developing a medium-range bomber known as the JH-XX. Featured on the cover of the Chinese magazine Aerospace Knowledge in 2018, it would likely have a range of about 900 to 1,250 miles, 2 engines, and a payload of about 60 to 70 tons. In other words, it would be much less threatening than its H-20 counterpart. However, what it lacks in size and range, it may make up in speed, as it was reported to be twice as fast as the H-20. Meant for more localized conflicts, this bomber could pose a real problem for China's neighbors. However, this project could simply be pure propaganda. This is because Aerospace Knowledge is the only source to report on the JH-XX, and it's completely absent from the annual US Congress report on Chinese military development. Therefore, it's possible the entire project was an intentional misinformation campaign by the Chinese government. But as with most top-secret programs, it's hard to affirm this with certainty. What is certain is that the Chinese are also developing 2 new powerful stealth fighters. The Chengdu and the Shenyang aviation firms have garnered decades of experience with Soviet-Russian designs and are the top 2 performers from the Chinese military, along with some suspected Chinese cyber espionage from Western information. This is likely the driving force behind the 5th generation Chengdu J-20 launched in 2017. This aircraft has a maximum range of 2,113 miles and is powered by 2 Chinese-made WS-10 engines, which reportedly can provide 14 to 15 tons of thrust, giving the aircraft a top speed of 1,305 miles per hour. In terms of firepower, it's fully loaded and can be equipped with 2 short-range missiles that can travel 12.5 miles and 4 long-range missiles that can travel around 124 miles. However, what makes the J-20 truly innovative are its 4 anti-radiation missiles, which are capable of destroying ground enemy radar. The J-20 appears to have the body of the experimental Delta Wing Mikoyan Project 1.44, with the nose of the Lockheed F-22 Raptor. It has a long fuselage, presumably so it can carry a larger amount of fuel, advanced avionics, and has larger internal weapons bays. It will have the latest Chinese fly-by-wire technology, advanced fire control and engine management features. The pilot controls the aircraft with the traditional hands-on throttle and stick HOTAS arrangement, and will have a wide-angle, full-color glass cockpit liquid crystal display like the Lockheed F-35 Lightning II. Along with the LCD would be a helmet-mounted sight system. The radar array in the nose of the J-20 may be borrowed from the Russian Sukhoi Su-30 MKK. Although we know of at least 13 J-20s in service, there are likely significantly more, with China's future production target likely surpassing the 200 mark. The per-unit cost is currently unknown, but it's likely somewhere in the $30 to $50 million range, with the research and development required for the program itself likely to have cost around $4.4 billion. But recently, China surprised the world with another new jet fighter. Known as both the FC-31 or J-31, this jet is currently only a prototype, and so the details around it are a little bit fuzzy. Yet according to reports, it can carry an incredible amount of weapons. 12 medium-range air missiles, 8 air-to-ground missiles, and a combination of 8 deep penetration bombs and 30 small bombs. The design itself is reported to be even stealthier than the J-20 and is equipped with many advanced sensors to detect incoming aircraft. The exact cost of the plane is unknown. However, the Chinese claim it will be produced at an expensive $70 million per unit. This is significantly less than its American counterpart, the F-35, which comes in at around $100 million per unit. The Chinese hope that these planes can be mass-produced at a larger scale and populate China's aircraft carriers and be sold to its allies. Yet the J-31 has faced a lot of controversies, primarily because it was inspired by foreign technology. You see, the Chinese were found to have stolen the information for the American F-35 fighter from Lockheed Martin. This was later proven to have occurred in a prolonged cyber attack that stretched from 2010 to 2011. This sensitive information was then used to design the J-31 to such an extent that it's a near copy of the F-35. Their wingspan, weight and height are all very similar. They have near identical frames and both have 2 identical weapon bays. Unsurprisingly, many American experts have expressed annoyance at this copycat move by the Chinese. However, the good news for those in the West is that the F-35 is still thought to be superior in many aspects, including flight distance and avionics equipment. As you could imagine, analyzing whether or not China's military is superior to the US is a topic that would more easily be covered in a few days rather than a 10-minute video. So while we won't be answering that question today, what we can do is compare Chinese stealth aircraft to their American counterparts. As we mentioned before, the H-20 stealth bomber and the J-31 stealth fighter are the most powerful aircraft being developed by the Chinese. Yet they are counterbalanced by the American B-2 stealth bomber and F-35 stealth bomber. The B-2 bomber has no problem outperforming the H-20 in nearly every aspect. It has a payload of 23 tons, more than doubling the H-20's 10 tons. It can hold up to 16 larger nuclear or regular bombs, vastly surpassing the H-20's potential capacity. And finally, it has a range of just under 6,200 miles, rivaling the H-20's 5,250 miles. Yet what we've neglected to mention is that by 2025, the US is planning to scrap its B-2 bombers and unveil their B-21 Raider. Although the plane's details are understandably top secret, what we do know is that the US expects it to be operational well into the 2050s. So, given it's an upgrade to the already strong B-2, it goes without saying that it will be significantly more advanced than the H-20. However, the competition between the J-31 and the F-35 is a little tighter. Since the J-31 is essentially a copy of the F-35, the two planes unsurprisingly have a near identical design. The flight radius is also very similar, with the F-35's 771-mile combat radius just barely edging out the J-31's 745-mile radius. Regarding speed, the J-31 has a slight advantage, coming in at Mach 1.8 as opposed to the F-35 speed of Mach 1.6, with both having around the same operational ceiling of 50,000 feet. Yet, where the F-35 completely blows the J-31 out of the sky is its avionic equipment. The F-35 has some of the most advanced sensory and communications devices on the planet, while the J-31's equipment is more modest. It's because of this factor that the American F-35 emerges as the superior airplane. China's latest stealth aircraft is certainly formidable. The H-20 stealth bomber and the J-31 stealth fighter are some of the most advanced aircrafts in the world, and if mass-produced, could be a real threat to most major superpowers. However, what is also apparent is that China is years behind the United States technologically, and thus American aircraft will, for the foreseeable future, remain superior. So, unless the Chinese stage yet another cyber attack, which, let's be honest, wouldn't be too surprising, the US Air Force should reign supreme. That's all we have for today. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on China's latest stealth aircraft. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and click subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when a new video is released. Thanks for watching.